The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These many years of experience have made them experts in the field. Or at least, they think so. Join them this week as they talk about the surprise, yet not so surprising Nintendo Direct. You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hey everybody, it's your friend David. I'm hopping at the beginning of the episode this time to just give you a quick little rundown. I wanted to apologize for this episode coming out so late in the week. It's been a little bit of a hectic weekend for me. I went home to my parents' house and forgot to take my laptop charging cable, so I couldn't edit it over there, and that was kind of upsetting. Also, I just wanted to let you know that the audio for the first probably 40 minutes of the episode is not very good from Jordan and myself. Turns out I forgot to plug in my good microphone, and we were using my laptop's built-in microphone for the majority of the episode. So I just wanted to apologize for that and let you know that it probably won't happen again. Just the content is still good, just hopefully you don't mind that audio glitch too much. While I have you, I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to the episode, and I'll let myself get you introduced to who we've got today and our topics. Thanks so much. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 82. I'm your host, David. I guess you could say this was a Dark Souls of Nintendo Directs. Accompanied with James.
It's an ace.
And Jordan.
Yeah-ee!
Yeah-ee!
If you can't tell by what we've talked about with our quotes, we're going to be talking about the January mini direct that came out today. A little bit of a surprise that everybody was anticipating, I guess you could say.
Everyone was burning in their sleep. It was great.
Well, did you see the one Twitter post that someone put out of them burning their Chibi...
Yes.
Yeah, Chibi Robo amiibo?
Yeah. The sacrifice has been made. And then it worked! So now he just has to burn an amiibo every time he wants to direct.
What's next?
Yeah.
Bayonetta? No, I'm just kidding.
So we'll be talking about the things that we thought were cool from the Direct. We'll talk about everything. And maybe we'll talk about some things that we wish that they had actually announced or shown us. But before we start talking about this stuff, just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Nintensity. These episodes are going up early as a reward for those that support us. And if you want to talk about the episode with us, head on over to our Discord community at nintend.city/Discord. Without any further ado, let's jump into this Dark Souls event. Just kidding, it's just the January mini direct. There were a lot of topics covered. There's only 15 minutes and our list is fairly long. Let's start with the first one, which is Dark Souls Remastered is coming to Switch this May. What do you guys think about that?
I mean it's Dark Souls.
There's definitely a huge fan base for Dark Souls, you know? And bringing it to the Switch is only going to bring a new fan base into it, I think. I mean, well, okay, let me step back. I think a lot of the Dark Souls players are going to be more like, I want it in 4K than in portable. So maybe it won't bring a whole lot of people to the Switch, but it will definitely please a lot of people who've already bought the Switch. And I think it will do pretty well. And it's nice that, you know, Namco, Bandai Namco, whichever the phrase is, I keep flipping it around. It's nice that they said, hey, you know, the Switch is doing well. Let's keep supporting it.
It's good to get more variety to games. So just more rated M games is fine, since it's in such contrast to what Nintendo normally gets.
Right, and the remastered version, it's going to be a consistent 30 FPS in docked and handheld, is what the developers were saying on Twitter.
And it's going handheld?
to be, yeah, 30 FPS, and it's going to be 1080p docked consistently and 720p in handheld.
Well, it is a really ancient game.
Exactly.
Good point. Good point.
How old is Dark Souls? Like, I swear it's gotta be like 10 years old at this point.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure.
Oh.
That's only 7, almost.
It's about the same age as Skyrim. Okay. I thought it was older.
Oh, man. I thought Dark Souls was the Skyrim of Dark Souls. Whatever.
Yeah, it came out September 22nd, 2011. So it's not that old, but then again, 2011 is a long time ago. We still had the Wii and all of those low-res games from Nintendo, so I guess this is a big step. I mean, it'll be cool to see how the community handles this game and if it sells well.
All I gotta say is this remaster is gonna be the Dark Souls of remasters. Like it's pretty crazy. Like Dark Souls.
All I know is that all my friends want me to play it, but it is not the kind of game that really interests me. Everyone's like, "Oh, you like hard games, Jordan?" Yeah, sure, but the combat's a little too slow for me, I feel like.
I haven't even really seen any gameplay of the game.
Really?
So I don't know. Maybe I'll just get it. We'll see.
Well, I mean, yeah, I gotta see what the gameplay for the remastered version. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be too different, but yeah, for me, it's just the hard difficulty that really puts me off. And yeah, I mean, it's fine, like to have a frustrating game, but I don't know, not my cup of tea, I guess.
I respect what Dark Souls is doing. It's just not my style of difficulty. Well, it focuses more on punishing than it does on actual difficulty. I feel like. I don't know. I'm just talking or complaining about games I've never played before, so maybe I shouldn't be saying anything. I have played a bit of Bloodborne, not Dark Souls, and I killed the werewolf at the very beginning. If you played Bloodborne, you know what I'm talking about. The very first enemy, and apparently you're supposed to die to that, not kill it. So. I don't know.
This Bloodborne is like too easy for me.
That's how I feel when I grind too much in JRPGs, where it's supposed to be like one of those story bosses that kills you the first time and triggers a story. It's like I sometimes will just get them down to 1 HP and then the cutscene will start and you're just like, well, what was the point of this? I was totally wrecking him and all of a sudden my characters are dying. But
I think my biggest problem with it is that it's just a little too dark. I like color in my games, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to convince Dark Souls to add a little more color to
up your brightness. Change your saturation on your
Rainbow
TV,
Souls.
Rainbow Souls.
It's the Dark Souls of Rainbow Souls.
Oh,
sorry. It's an overused joke, but I just think it's so stupid. Anyway.
So Dark Souls Remastered will be coming to the Switch this May, so look forward to that. Continuing on with the topics in the Direct, especially considering games that are older that are getting new life on the Switch, we have The World Ends With You Final Remix. That's heading to the Switch sometime this year. This game was originally released on the DS by Square, and it's a cult classic RPG is what I've seen a lot of people describe it as. I don't know much about the game. I have never played it. I
also have not played it, but I don't know. Everyone who talks to me who had it, who likes JRPGs, they always talk about this game and how it's like their favorite from the DS. And I don't know. I'm excited to try it out. I hope everything transitions well because it utilizes the DS touchscreen and everything, and apparently it will also have touchscreen, but also Joy-Con control. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know. I'm excited for this chance to try, in some people's minds, the best game on the DS. I wonder if people wished it was a sequel, but I guess this is better than nothing.
It looks interesting, but I'm not the JRPG kind of guy.
Yeah, if you listened to last week's episode, you'd know that. Yeah. So we'll see how this game turns out. Moving on down our list, we have SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy.
Day one buy. I'm getting this for research purposes.
Right.
No, I'm not touching this. But this is kind of the game I would almost expect to be a Japan exclusive. And if you've watched the Japanese Direct, there's a reason. I mean, they definitely chose their footage wisely for the American version compared to the Japanese one. Let's just say that. I mean, there'll be people who are going to drool all over this, and maybe that wasn't the best imagery there. The people who love this game, I actually find it kind of cool that it's SNK heroines. It's just like a whole female cast. I don't know. That's kind of cool. I don't know how the gameplay is though.
The sad thing is, I think this is probably the path that Fire Emblem's moving towards 10 years from now. So.
You mean a spin-off game, right? No. Hopefully the main series won't just turn into...
Well, don't you remember I already predicted Fire Emblem Waifu Wars, It's just going to be everyone in you're just going to... It's all women war, and, people will die, the women will die, but it's basically to find out who's the best waifu, and then you marry the one in the very end, and and then she becomes the ultimate bride.
That sounds like a horrible fanfic game.
Oh yeah, totally.
Written by the fans for the fans.
Yeah. I would never play it, but
I probably won't be picking up this game, SNK Heroines, but if you want to, it's coming out later this year on the Switch. So
yeah, another fighting game, I guess.
The next game that's coming out that was announced is Yes V. Just kidding, it's Yes 8 Lacrimosa of Dana, which is coming this summer. I don't know a whole lot about this game either, but
there's 8 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've heard the name, but I never knew how to pronounce it. It's like Yice. No, but apparently it's Yeast, or I don't even know. It's such a weird name. But I mean, David pronounced it correctly. I just can't pronounce it. I never been too interested in this game because I just never seen it on a Nintendo console. Maybe it probably has been, but I just never picked it up.
It was released on the Vita last year.
The Vita and the 4.
Well, there you go. I heard. The 4 as in the PS4.
Yeah, the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita, and it's coming to Windows on the 30th of January.
Well, why do I need the Switch version when I can play it on Windows? Just kidding. No, but when I saw this gameplay, it reminded me of some of the things I like about Xenoblade. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but it's the action JRPG thing. Everything happens in real time, and I don't know. I'm willing to pick it up and try it, and it looks good. And the music that I heard was actually really good too, so I'm willing to play it.
Yeah, I don't even know the developer, Nihon Falcom.
I've heard of Falcom, yeah.
I wonder what else they've done. I'll have to look at that later. Another JRPG, so not for Jordan.
Yeah, lots of stuff for JRPG fans.
They're just so easy to port over. No, I'm just kidding.
Super eager.
No, I said easy.
Oh, easy. I thought you said eager. They're eager to port over the JRPGs.
Hey, really. I guess that too.
Okay, so moving down the list again. Fire Emblem.
F-E, Fire Emblem. God.
Yeah, that'll be coming to Switch next month. This was one of the rumored things that was going around yesterday, I guess, before the event.
Well, longer than that. All the way
it's been longer.
December.
Yeah, I mean, the first I saw people actually taking the rumors seriously was that image that Nintendo posted of the bird from Mario Odyssey. They had clipped the scene just enough so that Festival was cut so you could just see Fee or Faye. So people were like, "Oh, look at that! It's coming." And
I think, I mean, maybe that's what they were pointing to, but that rumor had been going on for a while. Like it had been EA leaked it or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so EA leaked a document talking about the roadmap for the marketing for the game, and on it was the Nintendo January Direct.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where all the hype for the January Direct is built upon.
Way to go, EA! This game wasn't developed by EA, right? This game is
it's published.
Published by EA.
It's published by EA, not developed. Yeah,
basically paid for, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It looks great. I really like the art style, and if you like your action platformers, I mean, this looks like it could be pretty good. I mean, I think it's a game that you have to pick up and play for yourself to see if you really like it or not. But and for what I saw, I'm just willing to give it a try at least.
Hey, it's really colorful.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I might pick it up actually.
It's not just dark. I mean, there's lots of shadows and.
It's black and purple.
I want the ability to discern what objects are what objects, where you can't really do that with some games.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that'll be coming next month, February. It's really soon.
Exciting.
Yeah. The final new game that was announced for the Switch in the Direct was Mario Tennis Aces.
Yes!
And it doesn't look like a Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. I can't even remember what that was called because I never played it.
Hallelujah.
It does not look like a port or anything like that. It's got a story mode. There's no gigantic players running around the court as far as we can tell. And it actually looks like they're going back to some of the roots of Mario Tennis.
They have clothes, like clothes that isn't their normal clothes. They're in tennis clothes. And that Waluigi haircut, he's looking sleek.
But do they have like the power-ups and stuff that they had in the GameCube Mario Tennis?
I don't know if that's there. But I don't think they had the power-ups in the GBA, if I remember right.
I don't know.
But not saying that it has to be a carbon copy of that at all, but I don't think I remember there being power-ups in the trailer that we saw, but maybe there are.
Well, I appreciated that they brought back Petey Piranha like as a boss for the story mode. I wonder if he'll be playable in games somehow. Maybe not as big as he appears in the story, but I think that'd be really cool.
There has to be more characters than just the 4 they've shown. Playable characters at least. I mean, we saw Donkey Kong and we saw Petey Piranha. Other than that, they just have like the 4 guys, Wario, Waluigi, Luigi, and Mario. But it'd be nice if we had a bigger cast of characters. But what's great about this is the story mode itself. I mean, this is something that I know I've been asking for a long time, and I really haven't picked up a tennis game since the GameCube version, just because it's not interesting anymore. And the story mode is a reason why it kind of not engrossed me, but it helped me move along and helped me get better, because I just wanted to keep playing rather than just doing match over match over match of just nothingness. If that made sense.
No, I understand. And it wasn't like a full-on trailer. They were kind of talking through it. So I think they were just showing us that, hey, it's coming this year and we'll give you more information later. I mean, and it doesn't look quite finished to me. I mean, maybe this is just because I'm coming off of Mario Odyssey with Mario's super detailed model. But Mario doesn't look quite as good in my mind in this tennis game.
That may be, but if you compare it to Ultra Smash, he actually looks better. Like the graphics are improved from the Wii U. It is interesting to know that there's just like a slightly different style to everything, but you can tell there is a slight graphical or difference in style.
I didn't even know there was a Wii U Mario Tennis.
Oh,
really?
No, it never existed.
3DS.
No, it doesn't exist.
It's bad.
What's bad?
It only the Wii U Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
I mean, the roster is so small, and there are only like 3 total courts or something like that for you to play on. It was a sad.
The
attempt.
roster was okay size. I guess it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't big, but it wasn't terribly small. Anyway, sorry.
Nah, it's okay. So that'll be coming out later this year. We don't know when. Probably before the first half of the year's over, I'd say. I don't know. Kind of fills in some of those slots that Nintendo seems to be missing. Yeah, so that's Mario Tennis Aces. Next on our list, we're going to move to some games that got full release dates with a little bit more information. The first one is Payday 2. That'll be coming out on the 27th of February, and will have a timed exclusive new character just for the Switch on its release.
The Japanese hacker.
Yeah. I kind of wish Skylar was here to talk about this with us. I know he's probably the most excited out of the 4 of us to play Payday. I mean, Skylar apparently just has this fantasy of wanting to rob banks and steal all the
clown
money.
masks.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like something Skylar would want to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too interested in this game. I think it looks fun, but I don't think I'll be picking it up. Just not my type.
It'll be neat because it gives access to another multiplayer game for the Switch.
Yeah.
Which is good for local play. It would be nice if the Switch were to get download play like the 3DS had, but oh well.
It can't all be perfect, I guess. But why not? No, but like we said about Dark Souls, this really just expands to another audience and, gives, different genres to the player. Well, I may not pick it up, but, like David was saying, Skylar is going to, and I'm sure he'll enjoy it, and so will other people. So it's good to have options, I guess.
The next thing we got more information on was Kirby Star Allies. That'll be coming out this March for sure. It's got quite a few new copy abilities. I know they showed off the Spider Kirby,
which looks
ability.
Awesome.
It looks really cool. He's like wearing a hat that has like the spider eyes and legs. Looks really cool. I'm totally drawing a blank on the other abilities that they revealed.
It was the art ability. Like he's an artist and he draws like a DDD and like a crappy doodle. Sorry, excuse me, Kirby. You have amazing artistic talent. A perfectly
You're adorable, Kirby.
copied DDD.
I just love how many of his abilities are just him throwing his friends around the room.
This is what friends are for. Killing my enemies.
With your face.
Yeah, the ability seems to be drawing a lot of inspiration from Adelaine from Kirby 64, which is pretty cool. I wish that she'd come back more in the series, but whatever.
This is her coming back. Kirby ate her.
Kirby ate her.
Oh. No.
That's terrifying. Also, real quick, since it was Christmas last month, I saw this meme that was Kirby was inspecting a nativity scene, and he sucked up the baby Jesus and swallowed it, and then all of a sudden it cuts to another image and Kirby is standing on top of water. Sorry, that was totally random, but I thought that was so funny. Back to copy abilities. The combination abilities also seem to work when Kirby uses one ability and then one of his partners uses their ability, and they can use them together to combine them like that, which I thought was a really cool thing. It means that you won't have to sacrifice your friends for those combination abilities that you're looking for, like in Kirby 64, where you had to suck in two different enemies at the same time.
Blood sacrifices must be made.
Must be made. Otherwise, not a Kirby game.
Yeah. I think this will be quite a bit more fun to play with all these different abilities. It looks, though, that that player one is going to control who has what ability, though. So if you're playing with a group of four, player one will suck up an ability and then create your new partner, like in Kirby Superstar. So, I mean, I guess not everybody gets to be Kirby in this mode, but
there can only be one Kirby.
I don't know. I think that Kirby's old... Oh my gosh, I keep getting all these names confused because they all sound pretty similar. You got Superstar, but this is Kirby Star Allies. I think that it looks like a really fun title and will be a great addition for Switch. Again, bringing more multiplayer games to the platform.
It's hard to one-up Robobot, but I tell you, this looks amazing. Like just visually pleasing, and I'm excited to see how all the the copy abilities work and how the stages are designed. So, and honestly, like even if it's not better than Robobot, I don't think I've ever been disappointed with a Kirby game, really. So I don't know. I think it'll be great.
I think it'll be fun. I'm really interested in it. It's probably one of the only games on this list that I'll probably actually buy.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Not play them.
Very good.
I'll probably pick it up as well. It'll be fun. Now we're moving on to the next category of updates that we got, and these are ports. A couple of Wii U games have been confirmed to come to Switch. The first one is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which features a new easy mode with Funky Kong.
No, chill mode.
Chill mode, that's right.
Bra.
He's got a surfboard, man. That's pretty sweet. I think this game was inevitable to come on Switch if they were going to be doing any Wii U ports. I mean, we got that with Mario Kart 8, but this game has a lot of care and detail put into it. It was made by Retro. It's highly acclaimed by game critics. It's a platformer. It's Donkey Kong. it makes sense to be coming out on the Switch.
It's one of the best games on the Wii U, and Nintendo's clearly trying to port the entire Wii U library to Switch, so they want to just forget the Wii U ever happened. No, Tropical Freeze came out in 2018. I don't know what any of you are talking about.
This is a completely new game.
The years 2012 to 2017 just didn't happen.
Except for the 3DS library. That stuff's still good.
That'll happen.
Well, we survived on the 3DS.
we really did. The game looks great. I mean, I didn't get to play a whole lot of it on the Wii U. As I mentioned before, I didn't have my own Wii U, so I didn't get to play a lot of the Wii U games by myself. I usually watched people play them or played little bits and pieces here and there. So
it's the Dark Souls of platformers.
Gosh dang it, Jordan.
I mean, it is pretty rough. It's definitely harder than Donkey Kong Country Returns.
No, you're right. Like that's what I mean. You know, it's hard, but that's why you got the Funky Kong, right?
Yeah, so you can surf across enemies.
I encourage you to play
spikes.
I encourage you to play as Donkey Kong. Try it out first, you know, with just how it was normally played. But I mean, just the Funky Kong gives you the option, I guess.
So that's one port. The other port is Hyrule Warriors, and this has all the DLC from both the 3DS and Wii U versions. All together.
The super duper definitive edition.
We promise it's the last one. Maybe.
You know, we don't have enough Warriors games on the Switch yet. We gotta resaturate it. You know, we already got Fire Emblem Warriors, but that's not enough. Are you kidding me?
Oh, we have One Piece Warriors.
No. Do we have One Piece Warriors yet?
Yeah, that exists.
I mean, do we have it on the Switch? Is it on the Switch? No. I thought maybe it was on the Switch.
No, I was saying give me the port.
I know we have the Dragon Quest Heroes, something like that, and that's definitely made by Team Ninja and them. So that's another one. Trying to think if there's any others. But anyway, I don't know, it's funny because I kind of feel like Fire Emblem Warriors just got kicked to the side. It's like, forget about that. We have Hyrule Warriors again. I already played that.
That you guys apparently like more.
Play it more. And it'll have the features that were in the new 3DS, and that's great. But Fire Emblem Warriors just, I don't know, gameplay was so good in that one, and it felt right that I wish that they could say, no, we're going to take what we learned from Fire Emblem Warriors and apply it to Hyrule Warriors. To have that amazing cast, but the gameplay from Fire Emblem. But oh well, that's fine. I'll definitely pick this up because I didn't get the 3DS version. So I'm excited to play through as, you know, I can have 4 different characters on my team and I can switch through them because I love that about Fire Emblem Warriors. So I'm willing to give it a shot.
Do they make Dragon or Dynasty Warrior games anymore? Or have they just decided that they make more money off these ports or these, like, using other properties?
I mean, I wonder if they make more money with the other properties instead of Dynasty Warriors. I don't know, but...
No, Dynasty Warriors 9 is coming out in February.
There you go.
Not on Switch, apparently.
Nope.
I still wonder if they make more money.
You got 2 Warriors games.
Well, I still wonder if they make more money with the other ones and not Dynasty Warriors, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
This one does have 2-player co-op, so again, adding to more multiplayer games on the Switch.
That's good.
I loved it on the 3DS. Those new features definitely made it a lot easier to play than on the Wii U. But all right, we have another category. So we've gone through the new stuff that's coming out. We've gone over some release date updates, and we've gone over some ports, and now we got DLC updates. Yeah. Woo! The first one is Donkey Kong will star in the next, or I guess in the DLC package that's coming to Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Do we know how much this will cost? Because, man, if it's just DK, I don't think I'll get it. But if it's DK plus maps, and I want to play through the game again,
it's $20.
I'm pretty sure there are maps, like there's new new modes.
I know that there are maps because Grant Kirkhope tweeted after the Direct, with this new DLC pack and the maps is new music and new enemies or something like that. So he wrote new music specifically for the DLC, which makes me think that there are definitely stages coming.
So maybe like a world inspired by the DK Isles or whatever, because we saw some totem pole rabbits running around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think we'll see a whole new world open up. Maybe, just like another zone kind of a thing.
I'll have to see how much it'll cost. So $20 for the season pass. Can I just get this one DLC? I don't know if I care about the rest.
I think they only do DLCs with Nintendo now. But yeah, before they announced this, when they said that the DLC pack was coming, they said it was new, unexpected story content, was what their slide said. So I guess it is a story.
I wonder if we'll also get future maps with like Wario and Waluigi as characters.
Oh, that'd be great. Please. Honestly, when they said when they said frenemy, I thought they were talking about like they were gonna say Wario or something like that. But obviously, Donkey Kong makes sense too.
So that's coming. Oh man, when does that come? Pretty soon, I think. Did we get a release date?
Didn't they say?
Why didn't I write that down?
Either February or spring. I can't remember.
Why can't people say in their articles where it was? Either way, it's coming soon.
Yes.
All right, moving on. In the next DLC, this is a free DLC, and it's a new update to Super Mario Odyssey that features Luigi, kind of.
Oh my gosh, this DLC. Okay, so when okay, first off, great concept. Like it's the game. It looks fun. Like it could be fun to like find the balloons or whatever they are in different places. Okay, that's fun. However, you can't just like have Luigi's back like that and he turn around and not expect him to say, "Now it's my turn," or something like that. Like no. And then he just has balloons on his back. It's like, "Hey Mario, this is the only thing they let me do." Like, come on, let me play as him.
Yeah, it could have been like the Galaxy games where you just talk to Luigi and you can play as him.
Yeah, and then have him so he can jump higher and he slips. That'd be great.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be that hard to make him playable.
No,
and it would open up the game to even more hijinks and crazy jumps and stuff. I think it'd be so fun to do that.
And then give us Waluigi where he never stops slipping. Whoa!
And Wario, he just jumps short but hits hard. I don't know. We've talked about this before.
I can't stress enough how disappointed I was when he turns around and he's like, "I got balloons on my back." He's like, oh no.
I've become a Tingle.
He doesn't have maps though. He is wearing a bow tie. But seriously, I remember seeing the direct and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Luigi, I can play as him." Nope, he's just a fun multiplayer online mode.
Would have been better if it was Tingle that crossed over into the Mario Universe doing this.
Yes, it would have been 10 times better. I would have been
want to see Tingle in Mario Odyssey HD.
I would have gone in back in time, slapped myself in the face, and said, "You make Mario Odyssey #1 on your list right now." And it's said and done. But anyway, this is a good mode. Like I like what I like what it's offering, and I mean, I wish it was there originally, but hey, we already had so much content to begin with that this is just a little extra.
Mm-hmm.
So this is available on every map, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They only showed off New Donk City, and I think they showed off one other place. But yes,
they showed some other places. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks fun. It'll be interesting to see how much it's used, because it doesn't seem like you get much benefit by using it.
Exactly.
A dinky little side game.
Yeah. No moons. I don't think. You just
coins.
Have leaderboards and coins. So the update also comes with 3 new outfits and a whole bunch of new filters for the photo taking mode, which are kind of cool. The new outfits are awesome. You've got the knight helmet and armor so that you can actually look awesome while you're defeating the dragon. They've got the musician hat and outfit from New Donk City, and the sunshine shades and outfit from Mario Sunshine, where if you talk to one of the Piantas after you have a certain number of shines or have cleared a level, I'm not sure what the actual requirements are, he gives you a cool Hawaiian shirt with shine sprites on it and sunglasses. What would be even cooler is if it tinted the entire screen when you had the sunglasses on like it did in Mario Sunshine. But it doesn't look like it does that.
That's like 5 more lines of code, David. That's too much work.
Too much work.
We're not getting paid for this.
It's free.
It's a free update.
I will. One of the pieces of the updates, like one of the filters, that coin one, that's pretty cool. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple, but it's just kind of fun to like make your own coin kind of a thing. I don't know. I like weird filters like that.
Yeah, and that'll be coming in February, pretty soon. So you can look forward to that. Up next in the DLC department is a couple new characters for Pokken Tournament are coming. The first was the first Aegislash?
Yes.
Okay. And that comes with the support characters of Mega Rayquaza, and there's one more.
Mimikyu?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Mimikyu.
Yeah, Mimikyu. That'll be fun. That'll be the first pack, which will come out really soon.
I'm excited for Aegislash. Like, that's a good addition. That was a great one.
He's still so strong in the metagame, even now with the Sun and Moon update. He's going to be great. I wonder if they didn't tell us too much about how he fights, but I wonder.
Well, he switches between defense and attack.
Oh, he does? Okay, I wasn't paying enough attention then. So, and then who was the second Pokemon that was coming? I remember.
Blastoise.
That's right. Yeah, Blastoise is awesome.
Oh, I love Blastoise, but in my mind, I'm like, how does this work? Like, his arms are so short and stubby. My arms are so short and stubby. I don't think you thought this through. I mean, I imagine he'll use a lot of his like water cannons and everything. But if Blastoise can get into here, come on, Snorlax. Where's Snorlax? Get him in here.
Poor Venusaur.
Venusaur. Yeah.
He'd only be able to whip people and slam on top of them. Really.
And shake his booty.
He could poison them. And then, like, he toxic them, and then critical hit Razor Leaf over and over again with leech seeds and stuff.
Venoshock.
And just stall the game out. It'll be exciting.
It'll be great. Best fighting game ever.
And Blastoise comes out with Celebi and Mew as the support characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. OP, come on.
It's pretty cool.
Jeez.
Legendaries.
What kind of like puts me off to this is that his paid DLC.
It's like $15.
Yeah, it's kind of expensive.
Is it 15 each or just 15 total?
Hopefully it's 15 total, because 15 each would be ridiculous. I mean, especially if you compare it to like Smash DLC. I mean, that's $15.
It's definitely a lot more expensive than Smash DLC, especially since Smash characters were $6.
Yeah.
And they came with stages.
So, I don't know. Like, I'm glad they're bringing updates to it. This is definitely something I wanted. And, you know, I'm never going to say I want paid DLC. But I feel like maybe this was a little too pricey. But hey, whatever. I mean, I'll probably buy it anyway.
So that's all the stuff that was revealed in the Direct. But what didn't we see in the Direct?
A lot.
There was a lot we didn't see.
A lot. That we know is coming, at least this year or next year, that they could have shown, you know?
So my biggest problem with this Direct is we went into it with the problem that there's nothing really to be excited for 2018 yet. We have a few ideas of what's coming out this year, but we don't have any concrete, like, Fire Emblem's coming out this year, or Pokemon, which probably won't. But all I wanted was Nintendo to come in and say, here is the reason to have, like, the conversation of the Switch going forward. And they didn't do that. There's nothing to really talk about for the Switch for the time being. All they had to do was show, like, Virtual Console for this small drought, and it would have solved all of that. And then we'd have, like, a huge library for the Switch to talk about. It'd bring in a lot of people. I don't know. I was kind of disappointed.
For me, the biggest thing that I'm surprised about, well, I guess there's two big things. First off is Fire Emblem, and obviously none of this is I needed to see it in order for it to be good, for me at least. Like, I think it was fairly enjoyable. There was a lot of surprises, or a lot, maybe that's exaggeration. There were some surprises and some good stuff that we saw. But I really thought they needed to come out and say, we have Fire Emblem coming in this release window. Here's a trailer. At least give us something to be excited about. And it may not appeal to everybody, but at least it would have got some people a little more excited than just, you know, I wonder what's going to happen in 2018 excited. And I not saying they dropped the ball, but it kind of. Obviously, there's more time, and this is just the beginning of the year, so it's not doomsday or anything like that. But
Right.
I really expected them to at least to show something. However, this may just tell us that Fire Emblem Switch is not coming out until fall.
That's the thing I'm scared about, because the games that we did think were going to come out early 2018 probably are being pushed to late 2018. So that means there probably isn't much else coming out late 2018 now.
Fair point. I mean, another one of those games is Yoshi. I really thought Yoshi was going to come out in between March, April, and May, along with Fire Emblem, but here we are, and we don't have a date for either of those. So it just makes, like you said, do we just not have anything else in late 2018? I guess that's fine, but it's too bad we just don't have that one game to be excited about.
This would have been a fine direct in between, like, big directs, I suppose. Kind of, but not as... They needed something to push off 2018 with. That was a bit bigger, I feel like. Something to get conversation rolling. So, like, when someone says, oh, a Switch. Yeah, Mario and Zelda came out. Those looked pretty cool, but they weren't enough to get me to get a Switch yet. What else is coming out? Oh, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, when the Switch first came out, I mean, yes, it was a brand new console, but we had Zelda at the beginning of the year. That was huge. And what's taking that slot, according to Nintendo, is Kirby Star Allies. That's the March slot. That was huge for Nintendo last year. So I agree, there should have been something bigger, especially if Virtual Console had been even talked about. I think that would have gone superbly. Like, it would have been awesome.
Yeah, I think Virtual Console could have fixed all these problems, so then we could still have this dry spell that we're going to be entering pretty quick here with Nintendo. But we would still have a bolstered library that would still be able to draw people in who probably aren't as interested in Nintendo systems as we usually are.
Right. Absolutely. And these third-party titles that we're getting might help a little bit with that, but I don't know if it's enough.
The problem is they're all old games. Like, yeah, it's great. They're nice, but they're mostly for the Nintendo crowd that kind of skipped them on the original system they came on, which isn't going to draw in the audience I was talking about earlier of bringing in people who don't play Nintendo systems very often, who would like to, who grew up on, say, the GameCube, but after the Wii U kind of like shook things up and threw away a bunch of fans' trust, like, I'd like Nintendo to be big again, because I want Nintendo to be able to push out more games because they'll have a bigger audience.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Now here's a thing that someone pointed this to me on Twitter, that, and I'm not going to take it as fact, but maybe just keep in mind that usually within 20 days of a Direct Mini, there's a bigger Direct.
Yeah, I pulled up that chart that you shared with us on the Discord, and it goes back, from 2012 to 2016. It gives the date when a mini Direct was aired, and then there was a Direct almost immediately after. In some cases, it was a couple of days afterwards, in others, it was a couple of weeks. So I'm not saying that this is proof that we should expect a Direct in the next couple of weeks and all that, but I think that it is possible, given that Nintendo's done it multiple times in the past.
It would also be interesting if the reason why we got this mini Direct to begin with was to try and like stop the perpetual hype train that was like forming on Reddit.
Yeah, it was getting pretty big. Even on Twitter, like, people were going nuts. Like, when's it coming? When's it coming? And GameStop's their tweet, it's like, hey, Direct's coming out in 45 minutes, and that threw everybody off the rails.
Yeah. See, that I don't understand that. I still don't understand that, because why would they tweet that when they posted the video at 9 o'clock in the morning in Eastern time? Why would they be like 45 minutes until the Direct? Like, who would be up 45 minutes before that? Like on the Pacific Coast or the Mountain West or whatever. It doesn't make any sense.
What's also interesting is some of these games don't fit into the Amazon leaks from earlier, because Dark Souls is a $40 game.
So that's not even one of them.
Yeah, all of the games were $60 to $100. All of the listings.
Right. But on top of that, we didn't get any games that are more than $60 in this direct. So what were all the $100 ones that Amazon
Two of the games have special editions.
Do they?
The SNK and the Ys 8.
Oh.
Yes.
So maybe
yes,
those
both
two
of those
might
have special
come out.
editions.
So what 12 games did we get? Because there were 12 $60 games, and Dark Souls doesn't count because it was a $40 game.
The World Ends With You,
SNK Heroine,
SNK, Wiz 8, Faye, Mario Tennis Aces.
But are all these
Faye,
physical
I don't know, but
releases?
Faye is not a physical release, so take that one out.
And I don't think World Ends With You is going to be $60. It better not, because it hasn't ever been up to this point.
Oh yeah, that'd be way too expensive. Okay,
so that's 3 for sure.
Payday 2
was already
Payday 2 would already have been on.
As a
Kirby
Payday
was
2
already
would already
out,
been there.
so it's not one of them either.
Donkey Kong Country,
Donkey
and
Kong
Hyrule
Country,
Warriors, so that's 5.
Hyrule Warriors,
and the rest is all DLC. That's gonna be 5.
Goodness gracious, yes.
So 7 we're missing.
So that's 5 of maybe the 6 that GameStop leaked with their SKUs. I don't know. Huh.
Maybe we are getting another direct. I mean, I would not be upset.
I mean, before I saw that, I would have thought this was it. Like that. This is what they were going to show, and maybe they wouldn't show anything until March or April, maybe. But now that I've seen this, and it seems fairly consistent, I wouldn't be surprised if we got one. Not going to put my expectations to that, but it would be really nice if we got a bigger one that said, okay, these are the games. So we already showed off the games that are coming, really soon. But here's the games we have in the future, particularly before E3, and maybe some that will be afterwards. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have a game for Nintendo to focus on at E3 at this point.
Exactly. That was I was actually just going to bring that up. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
The fact that we didn't have Animal Crossing or Pikmin 4, because those are the games I think they would have as their focus. But throwing those two aside, they had no games they can have as their focus for E3. It's kind of disheartening.
All of the first party games that they talked about at the Direct all come out before E3. So
yeah, and I don't think any of them would really be a game that they could have as their main event type of game.
As much as we love Kirby, I'm sorry, he's not entire E3 booth material unless it was a huge game, like bigger than
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe he could be, but I don't know. Like I'm with you, David. I don't think that'd be.
Yeah. Plus his game is coming out in March, so it's like that's
exactly.
3 months.
Kirby games sell a lot, but they target a different audience than who watches E3.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see what Nintendo does in the coming weeks and see if they actually come out with another Direct. Like they might, based on on past trends. We'll have to see. So
more waiting.
Oh boy!
Don't let the hype train build up, though. Don't do it.
I got my Chibi Robo amiibo ready for the fire burner. He's ready.
You mean Bayonetta?
If we burn too many of those, we're going to get Ziplash 2.
Oh no!
That'd be awful.
Wait! Stop burning! Stop burning!
Well, great. I guess that's all that we need to talk about with the Direct. Let's go into what we've been.
I like the format, by the way. Sorry. I just want to throw that in there. I like the format. It was nice.
Yeah, it was just nice and quick.
Quick go through the things.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about what we've been playing over the break. I've been playing Splatoon 2 because I had to take a math test this week, the first week of the semester. So I didn't do anything but study and play Splatoon 2 and watch Awesome Games Done Quick. I've been watching a lot of Awesome Games Done Quick. They did a Super Mario Sunshine run last night, and I watched all 3 hours and 15 minutes of it. Wow. While I was studying. But that game is so fun to watch being speedrun. The route has changed immensely since I started watching like 3 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah. The route for 120 shines, it used to be 4 hours, and now they're down to almost under 3. And that's just 3 years difference. They just found these huge skips and ways to save tons of time. It's amazing. It's
amazing. I love
It is amazing.
I wish I could
Really
speed run, but I don't have nearly the amount of time that some of these speedrunners have to sink into these games. So I'll just keep playing Splatoon 2 and get good enough to maybe compete in a few low-key tournaments or something. So yeah, I actually watched a Splatoon 2 tournament over the weekend before school started. That was so fun to watch. But that's probably just because I know a lot about Splatoon 2 meta and could kind of follow along with what was going on. Anyway, that's what I've been doing this week.
Again, shocker, playing more Xenoblade 2.
What?
The game like never ends for me. I guess I'm just trying to get all the rare blades and do all their side quests and stuff like that. But when I'm not doing that, I'm playing Path of Radiance.
Oh, look at you pulling out the old Fire Emblems.
I know. Yeah, I've been really itching for Fire Emblem, and I said I was going to play some PS4 games, but then I was just like, nah, I'm going to play Fire Emblem because I'm a dweeb. Anyway, I actually haven't finished this game yet. I played it when I was rooming with Skylar and David, and I got like to chapter 15 or so.
So
but
close.
then I know, right? I think that's when like the Switch came out actually. So I couldn't play or couldn't like I chose not to play it anymore, okay?
Well, for good reason.
Zelda took my times. But so now I had to start from the beginning again, which is kind of sad, but at the same time, you know, the game is still good and enjoyable that I don't mind too bad. And then I'm going to try to play through Radiant Dawn. Yeah, that's my goal, and we'll see how it goes.
So I didn't really play any video games this week. I played a lot of Magic the Gathering, and I even played some Twilight Imperium, which is if you ever want to play a board game where it's Settlers of Catan mixed with Risk, set in space, then this is the game for you.
Whoa.
Also, make sure you have 12 hours set aside, because that's how long it took us to get through one game of Twilight Imperium last Saturday. We usually start at like 10 because we're stupid. And then like it lasts until like 6 in the morning. And so this time we're like, hey, we'll be smart this time. It started at 4. And it was the longest game of Twilight Imperium we ended up ever playing, and we didn't get home till like 7. It was horrible. But it was still a lot of fun because I got to play as like this one race that kind of acts like, I don't know, the Phyrexians from Magic the Gathering or whatever, where they go around infecting whenever they go into like a space combat with another race. After you've blown up a bunch of their ships, you absorb their technology of their ships or whatever. So
cool.
It's horrifying for all the other races to fight you, and like they're always just trying to like run away from you and trying to like make deals with their enemies to have their ships run away from you, because they don't want you to blow up anyone's ships, any side. So everyone's just constantly fleeing, and you're just like spreading across the universe.
It sounds like a bug.
That's awesome.
Why am I not surprised, Jordan?
Yeah,
But-
I got a few board games as well for Christmas. Just one sitting right there in the corner. I want to kind of open it up and see what's in there. But anyway, that's cool.
It's probably my favorite board game. It's really complicated, lots of pieces. Yeah, it's what you would expect from a Risk crossed with Settlers of Catan.
And space.
In space. you even get to make Death Stars that you can blow glass planets with and everything. It's pretty great.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I guess that'll do it for us this week, everybody. I just want to apologize for the first 40 minutes of audio from myself and Jordan. I probably apologized for this already in the mid-segment that I do as a break. I don't know, I record those separately. I was an idiot and forgot to plug in my good microphone, so we were using my laptop microphone without me even noticing. So, sorry about that. Yeah,
Whoopsies.
But thank you for supporting us anyway, even when I make these dumb mistakes.
I'd like to give a shout out to Skylar, who's not here right now. But you know, a lot of everything he does for the podcast, you know, music wise, is helpful, and he brings some wonderful insight as well. So you should check out his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Skytar, and this S is a 5. And, you know, and check out some of his great groovin' music.
And I'd like to invite you to join our Discord community. I don't know how to do Skylar's voice. We're trying to set up a fun place for people to visit and hang out. We talked a lot about the Direct this morning, which is pretty fun. So just head to nintendo.city/Discord for an instant invite to our Discord server.
And I'd like to shout out to our Patrons, Chris, Chase, and Ratmvp. Your support means a ton. If you want to join them, go to patreon.com/NintenCity. Remember, the episodes go up early as a reward for those that support us.
And thank you so much for tuning in to the Virtual Boys podcast this week. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes and all that wonderful stuff. Be sure to check out our website at nintensity.com where you can find news, show notes, and more. This week's show notes will be available at ninten.city/EP82. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye!
Goodbye, you good people.
You can't do that, Jordan. You always do that whenever he's not here.